told reporters as he departed for Camp David for meetings on the partial government shutdown, "I am in no hurry." About 1/4 of the U.S. federal government has been shuttered for more than 2 weeks, and about 800,000 government workers have been either furloughed or working without pay. Trump said, "I like acting. It gives me more flexibility. Do you understand that? I like acting. So we have a few that are acting. We have a great cabinet." He did not elaborate on why they give him more flexibility. There are 24 cabinet-level positions, and 6 are currently filled by individuals who are serving in an acting capacity after the departure of members confirmed by the U.S. Senate. Other than the White House Chief of Staff and the Vice President, cabinet-level officials require confirmation by the U.S. Senate. Federal law allows the president to temporarily fill vacancies by appointing acting department heads who are already employees there. Trump said last month he was in no hurry to name a new defense secretary after Jim Mattis quit over policy differences, and he has praised the acting secretary, Patrick Shanahan. David Barnhart is acting secretary of the Interior Department, while Matthew Whitaker is acting attorney general. Andrew Wheeler is the acting head of the Environmental Protection Agency, while Mick Mulvaney is the acting White House Chief of Staff. Jonathan Cohen is acting ambassador to the United Nations. In the first 2 years of Trump's presidency, there have been a 65% turnover rate among senior-level advisors, according to the Brookings Institute, a Washington think tank. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Well, our own Rebecca Mera takes us on a tour of the Olympic Village.
We have a full-size bed, lounge area, showers, plenty of space, which is great because I'm constantly having sex in there.
The Village is a temporary home to the world's most physically impressive athletic men and women. It was important to the Olympic Committee to give them a comfortable, state-of-the-art area to each other's brains out while they're not competing.
We have a pool where they can have a sex, a theater where they can have a sex. All these athletes are hot, horny, ready to go. They deserve the best.
I was in Vancouver where I got eaten out by this French speed skater. And I have to say, these facilities are even better, and I'm going to try to a Japanese guy.
You've spared no expense.
These athletes deserve the best. They sacrifice so much for their countries. They deserve to be able to until their and can't take it anymore.
And these facilities won't go to waste. Once the Olympics are over, they'll be converted to a resort where Russian businessmen can come to their prostitutes.
This is the Onion News Network.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Computers are online. I'm gonna start loading software.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Call to Freedom.
Broadcasting live from Birdcoin Studios on LRN FM.
You're listening to Will.
You will listen to every damn word I have to say.
And Aria.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Stay tuned for political talk and everything crypto. That's right.
Broadcasting internationally on our BitPlus Network satellite.
This is
the Call to Freedom.
All right, let's boot it up.
Welcome here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. It is our Monday evening broadcast brought to you on the Horizon from the Horizon.global studios in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And it is Monday afternoon, so as usual on a Monday, we have got queued up for you the sermon from this week at the Malek Center. We also have a short little piece that will be going extra, that'll be going along with it, that came from a wedding that we were able to officiate this last weekend. It went very well, alhamdulillah. Brother Ayman and Sister Rachel were married on Saturday after Isha prayers. And then we had some makluba and some cake and some spadel chicken, and it was really, really good. So without any further ado, this Monday afternoon, this is the khutbah from the Malek Center here in Keene, New Hampshire.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya as-salam. Hayya as-salam. Hayya falah. Hayya falah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبي محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. So I know last week that I promised that we would continue on with the work on the benefits of tribulation from Imam Ibn Salam. But some things that I've observed over the course of, well, I mean, honestly, over the course of the last couple of years, but particularly in the last 24 hours, inspired me to speak on something completely different. The Quran, we're told that we're not to allow the hatred of a people to allow us to depart from what is just, and what is right, and what is good. That there is
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
As Muslims. Anyway, we're not supposed to allow the behaviors, the actions of people who have hatred for us to affect the way that we conduct ourselves as Muslims, the way that we treat them as Muslims. We're told that, you know, if we're insulted, you know, there's so many stories over and over and over and over throughout the Sunnah. You have the story of while in a position of power, the Prophet ﷺ is walking through Medina, and the Jews of Medina would say horrible and hateful things to him as they walked by. And one of their favorite little things was to say, Assalamu alaikum. Now it sounds like Assalamu alaikum, but it's got this little difference in it, and that little difference is a major difference because it changes the word from being peace be upon you to meaning death or poison be upon you. And the Prophet ﷺ didn't respond by dropping F-bombs. The Prophet ﷺ didn't respond by cursing in the curse words of the Arabic language of his day. The Prophet ﷺ responded, Wayakum. And when Aisha, radiallahu anhu, when she heard the Prophet ﷺ insulted, she responded with, may the curse of Allah and death be upon you. Lanatna Allah on you. And the Prophet ﷺ's response was, La. La, Aisha. No. This is not how we do things. This is not the Sunnah. This is not how Muslims should, conduct themselves. Allah loves gentleness in all things. Allah loves gentleness in speech. And she responded to, but didn't you hear what he said to you? Yes, I heard just fine. And did you not hear my response? I said, Wayakum, and to you. That's all that was necessary. But now, today, in the age of Trump, I see Muslims who justify responding to insult with greater insult. Why? Oh, well, because he deserved it. Was this the way of who's our example? That's the only question that should really be asked. Who is our example? Is our example the Prophet ﷺ, or is our example what we say is the worst from among them? From among the non-Muslims, the American Muslim community is in unison in saying from the worst of the non-Muslims around us is Trump. And today, I see Muslims celebrating the fact that a Muslimah adopted his behavior in public. Oh, but he does. Yes, but this is not the way of our Prophet ﷺ. This is not the way of those who followed after him. This is not the way of the Sahaba. This is not the way of the Tabi'een. Who is our example? That is the question that I ask. Who's our example? Is our example them? They curse, they dress immodestly, they act immodestly, they act immorally. Are they our examples? Who is our example? Who are we to be modeling our lives after? What is there to celebrate? We're told that if a person from the Muslim community attains a position of power, they are to be from the best from among us. The best of moral character. Moral character is adab. And adab is not cursing in public. Adab is not dropping the foul language of the day for the culture that you live in. Adab is not doing these things. There's a story, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, a man came to him and he insulted him to his face. And Abu Bakr, he took it. And the Prophet ﷺ smiled. And again the man insulted Abu Bakr to his face. And the Prophet ﷺ remained sitting. And his smile remained fast on his face. And then the man insulted Abu Bakr a third time. And this time Abu Bakr responded. And the Prophet ﷺ lost the smile on his face and began to frown. And he stood up and he walked out. Abu Bakr goes to the Prophet ﷺ and he says, "Oh, Prophet of Allah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, you smiled as the man insulted me and did nothing to defend me. And then when I spoke to defend myself, you frowned and walked out of the room. Why?" The Prophet ﷺ responded, Oh As-Siddiq, when you sat and the man insulted you, I saw an angel standing there returning and defending you from these insults. And then when I saw you return his insult with your own, the angel closed his mouth and walked.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's AgristHosting.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.fm.
All right, welcome back to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM, broadcasting live from the Horizon.global studios here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. We've been listening to Friday's khutbah from the Malek Center here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire, new mosque that was set up there a little over a year ago. The title this week is Islamophobia and Departing from Justice. And the question posed and the point being made is that is it okay for Muslims to depart from justice because of the fact that people say hurtful or hateful things about Muslims, and discussing the Quranic and Hadith outlook on such a worldview, as many Muslims in the last few days defend undefendable behavior, un-Islamic behavior from an elected official who has telegrammed her, basically made a media event out of her Muslim identity before then and going and basically acting anything but a Muslim, unfortunately. And we'll get back into the khutbah now.
This tells us how there doesn't need to be all these other stories. That one story tells us what we are supposed to be doing. Is how should we be reacting when people insult us as Muslims? This is the way that our Prophet ﷺ taught us. No one ever insulted the Prophet ﷺ that he responded with an insult of his own. But when I have Muslims look at me and tell me with all seriousness, you mean Muslims can't respond to insults with insults of their own? Well, I think that's nonsense. What kind of teaching is that? The teaching of the Prophet ﷺ that you claim to follow. That's who it's the teaching of. That's what kind of teaching it is. It's the best of teaching, because our Prophet came with a religion meant to bring out the best of character. And if you want to take a position of power among the people as a Muslim, you must have and embody that character. End of story. You must embody this character. If not in your private life, at least in your public life. At the very least in public. If you can't control your tongue in your home, at least control your tongue on the street. At least control your tongue when there is a camera in your face. Be a representative of our religion, not a representative of secularism, not a representative of immodesty, not a representative of vulgarity. And if you wish to be that, then know that the vulgar and the immodest are those who you love. They are those whom you imitate, because you imitate those that you love. If you love the Prophet ﷺ, then your character will do everything that it can to imitate his. And if you don't love the Prophet ﷺ and you love others than Allah and others than the Prophet, your behavior will imitate those that you love. This is a qaida. It's a simple metaphysical law. Imam al-Ghazali states it very plainly. You imitate those who you love. If you imitate the Prophet ﷺ, then you love him. And if you imitate the kuffar, then you love them. So who is it that you love? Who is it that you choose to imitate? Who is it that is our example? Will the hatred of a people allow us to depart from what is right? Will the hatred of a people allow us to depart from what is sunnah? Will the hatred of a people give us the inclination that it is right, moral, and just for us to do what the Prophet ﷺ admonished the Sahaba for? Every time the Sahaba attempted to respond to insult with violence or to insult with insults of their own, they were admonished. They were chastised by our Prophet. And that is ﷺ, and that is the behavior that he wanted to inculcate out of us. This nature was what he wanted to get out of us, not to put within us. He came to get rid of our inner Abu Jahls, to get rid of our inner Abu Lahabs. Did he ever drop curse words when he spoke of Abu Lahab? Never. Not once. Not once did he speak this way. Not once. And anytime he heard the Sahaba do so, he criticized and condemned them for it. And today Muslims in this country celebrate it. And if you are not mortified by that, oh Allah, please forgive us for not having open eyes and being mortified by the representatives of our religion, thinking that they can behave like this in public, and that the Muslims, knowing that the Muslims will in no way hold them accountable for it, because of the fact that they simply say, well, I'm Muslim, so that makes everything that I do okay. Adab is gone. Well, the politics is a politics of no adab, so we will have no adab. This is not the way of Islam. This is not the way of our Prophet. And if you justify it, you must admit that you are advocating for positions outside of our religion in order to please people who are not from among us. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka wa habibina wa imamina wa quluwatina Muhammad ibn Abdullah Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ila yawm ad-din amma ba'd. I'm going to make the closing of this really short. Last week I spoke to you of a story. There was a Jewish man, he came to the Prophet ﷺ, and he said to the Prophet ﷺ many insults to his face. Prophet ﷺ didn't respond. Omar was so angry at the insults that this man said to the face of the beloved ﷺ that he was ready to cut the man in half. He was so angry, he was willing to cleave the man in two. And the Prophet ﷺ told him to calm down. And the Jewish man then explained himself. He said, I've looked at you, I saw the seal of the prophethood, I saw all of the signs of Nubuwwah, but I didn't see one. I didn't see himma. I didn't see the ability to be insulted to your face and to respond to it with forbearance. But I found this in you. So La ilaha illallah, Muhammadun Rasulullah. The man saw the character of the Prophet, and simply by the fact that the Prophet had the character to be able to take an insult like a man, not like a child, like a man, to take an insult to his face like a grown-up, not like a petulant little child. That man accepted Islam simply by the adab and the character of the Prophet ﷺ. That is how Islam spread.
All right. right, we'll be back with the rest of the Friday from the Malik Center here on the Call to Freedom in just a moment.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Toll House Morsels, helping you create special moments and memories your family will cherish forever. Visit us at tollhouse.com. You may bake for birthdays and holidays, but why stop there? Sweeten up the rest of the year by designating monthly dessert days. Treat your family to one of their favorites or surprise them with something new. Either way, you'll create a tradition everyone will love. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
I'm getting joined by Ellie Granderson. She's going to put a feminine scope on these lace kerchief starbuggers and give us her lady opinion. Ellie?
Hi, Joe.
You know, it riles me up every time you walk in here, Ellie. You set my blood to dancing with all your pillowy parts.
Oh, stop it, Joe.
Now give it to me, no famble, Ellie. When we start dusting these rocket boys' lily white bottoms with baby puff?
Joe, since the end of the Cold War, NASA has basically functioned as a giveaway to the American aerospace industry, wasting trillions of taxpayer dollars every year on extravagant programs with no tangible benefit.
Fine as a plum to look at, all the sense of a badger to boot.
Joe.
Now I've been thinking on, I got these 3 little chickens pecking on my head while save NASA some coin. Man wants to go to space, can strap on the helmet, climb in the cannon, let the Chinese gunpowder carry him off among the stars. He'll come back now, gonna skin a fox in one throat, and you're gonna fancy on it.
This is the Onion News Network.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
You're listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
LRN.FM, broadcasting live from the Horizon.Global studios. It's just Will in the studio right now for the moment. Aria will be back in studio here in about 20 minutes or so, but that's okay because Monday afternoons, the first segment of the show, we normally listen to the Friday khutbah from the Malik Center here in Keene, New Hampshire. The subject today, basically, when Muslims decide to follow the example of those that they are quite often criticizing, the behavior of people who, we're quick to go, oh, that's a violation of decorum. But when we do it, it's situational Leninism, basically, is what it is. Is the Muslim community has kind of embraced when we do it, it's not wrong. But when they do it, it's totally horrible kind of mentality. And this is something that I'm seeing get worse and worse over the course of the last 2 years, since the election of Trump. And decided that it was time that someone address that from the Minbar in our community. So here is the remainder of that sermon.
The Arabs. It wasn't because of the sword of this one. It wasn't because of this one or that. No, it was because of the character of the men who took this religion and spread it across the globe. People in mass accepted Islam in Malaysia and Indonesia, not because men showed up on their shores with horses and wagons, but because traders came and they exemplified the very best of character. They didn't curse. They didn't cheat. They didn't steal. They did good in business. They had honest weights and measures. And they were known as having the most exemplary of character and the most forbearing of countenance. This is what our predecessors, our ancestors, the men and women who spread this religion all across the world. The reason why we are one of the largest religions on earth and why our religion covers more geographic territory than any other religion on earth is because of the fact that men of forbearance, men who didn't curse at the people who said hateful things to them, were out there to represent our religion, who took places of power, and rather than treat their enemies as their enemies had treated them, they treated their enemies with forbearance. When the Christians came in and they took Jerusalem, they put every person, man, woman, child, Christian, Jew, or Muslim to the sword. When Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi took the same city, he let those people live. And in the year leading up to that, when the leader of the Christian armies, the King of England, was fallen off of his horse and his horse was killed out from underneath of him and he was injured by that horse, Salah ad-Din sent his top physicians and a new horse. He didn't drop F-bombs. He didn't curse. He didn't do these things. He didn't talk about European privilege. No. He showed what Islam was. He was a representative of our religion. And that is why today, almost 1,000 years later, he is venerated by non-Muslim and Muslim alike. Non-Muslim and Muslim alike venerate the men of our tradition who were leaders and who stood with adab, who spoke with akhlaq. What will we do today? Who is our example? Will we allow Islamophobia? Will we allow the hatred of a people against us? Will we allow it to make us depart from our religion? Will we allow it to make us embrace the sunnah of another people rather than the sunnah of the beloved? Who do you follow? In whom do you place your trust? Do you place your trust in the Republican Party, the Democrat Party, the Libertarian Party, the Green Party, American politics, Muslim Brotherhood Party, Irshad, Imran Khan Party, PMK, BNP, UKIP, Labour Party? Do you put your faith in them or do you put your faith in Allah? Who do you put your faith in? That's the question I ask today. Is your faith in Allah or is in your faith in the systems that we have seen in our day and age do nothing but inculcate and spread injustice, death, hate, and division among all peoples? Oh Allah, we ask that you make us from among those who are Abdul Jama'ah, though the slave of the gatherer, not the slave of the one who disperses. Oh Allah, we ask you that you make us from among those who find ways to bring people together. O Allah, we ask that you make us from among those who have adab like the Prophet ﷺ. And those of us who do not have it, we pray that you inculcate within us the ability to fight these things in our own selves. And remember that there is never a thing that I say as I stand on this minbar that I don't say to myself more than I say it to you. O Allah, we ask that you forgive the sins of all the Muslims. O Allah, we ask you accept the fasting of all the Muslims. O Allah, we ask that you bring us together and make the Muslims in this country a lighthouse of good character and good manners to those around us. O Allah, we ask that you inculcate within the Muslims in this country a desire to be valid representatives of our Prophet ﷺ. O Allah, we ask that you allow us the ability to learn how to reflect the light of the character of the Prophet ﷺ. O Allah, we ask that you put within us a love, muhabba, ishq of the Prophet ﷺ, so that we wish to be like him, because we know that the one that you love is the one that you imitate. O Allah, make us imitators of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. O Allah, bless us and keep us as we go out upon our days and we try.
All right, so that was the Friday sermon, but I promised you guys a little extra piece. It's really short, actually, and it will take up pretty much the last of the segment and a couple of minutes at the beginning of the next one. Keep playing Mario over there, Aria. Oh, she's on Zelda now. She's on to Zelda now. Oh, she was just showing me the Mario. Okay. So this is actually from, there was a wedding. And before a wedding, you give a khutbah. And this one's kind of short, but it is definitely, in my opinion, one of my better, because I'm really critical of the stuff that I do. And there's no way we're actually going to get to this. It doesn't look like before.
Making sure that everyone's
yeah. Oh well. So when we get back here on the other side of the next message, I love when we find these spots where we're like, we've got 30 seconds of air to fill, but we are like in between things, and you don't want to start the new thing because you've got 30 seconds to start it, but you're done with the old thing, and there's really nothing left to say about it. You're muted. You haven't been here all day.
It's because we plan things so well.
We do. We plan things awful. Basically, the inspiration behind the khutbah was you had this Muslim chick. She got elected to office. She telegrammed her Muslim identity, right? Like, telegrammed her Muslim identity. And then an hour later is on video dropping the F-bomb. And then when she's challenged on it, she's like, oh, I didn't mean impeach that MFer. I meant imprison that MFer. And I'm like, no, they gave you the opportunity to walk it back. What? Why did you double down, stupid? And I mean, I'm not the speech police, but if you're going to telegram a religious identity and make a media event about your religious identity, I don't think you should be dropping F-bombs 20 minutes later on video. I mean, that's not an unreasonable request from someone. I'm sorry.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to SaveItPurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. SaveItPurse.com.
Hey guys, Mark Claire here, LionsOfLiberty.com, where we strive to advance the ideas of liberty daily. We bring you the Morning Roar. That's right, every Monday to Friday we'll have a brand new edition of the Morning Roar, where we provide a roundup of some news stories that you may not find in the mainstream media or even in your typical social media newsfeed. We find stories that relate to the ideas of liberty and provide you with our liberty perspective on them. Every Monday, we have our longest running feature, Mondays with Murray, named after the great libertarian Murray Rothbard, where we'll examine an article or an excerpt from his works and help convey his view, along with our little spin as well. We wrap it all up every Friday with Felony Friday, where our own John Odermatt goes out and takes a look at some sort of felony. There's felonies committed every day, whether it's a felony committed by the police, a politician, or even an average citizen. You can find all of this and so much more over at lionsofliberty.com, advancing the ideas of liberty daily.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm. Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे.
Give thanks to Allah for the moon and the stars. Praise Him all day for what is and what was. Take hold of your iman. Don't give in to shaitan. Oh, you who believe, please give thanks to Allah. Allahu Ghafoor, Allahu Rahim, Allahu Yuhibbul Muhsinin.
All right, welcome back to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. I think it's hilarious. Everybody thinks the song is Michael Jackson. It's not. It's Zayn Bika.
I would not assume Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I know, but if you look up the song Give Thanks to Allah on YouTube, you find like 20 of them that are labeled Michael Jackson, and one of them that is labeled with the actual artist who performs the song. He's Arab. He's not even black. He's Arab. His name's Zayn Bika. Oh, we've got a. Is that? Oh, okay. All right, we've got a call coming in. Cool. All right then. So we're gonna finish up the sermon from the wedding. So here you go.
نبي محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. So we are here today because Brother Ayman and Sister Rachel look to make nikah today. we're told in Quran that Allah created human souls before existence, and He cleaved from them their mates. So the nikah is the rejoining of the two souls that were once created as one on the other side of the veil. The Arabs for generations have wrote and spoken about love. We hear of Layla and Majnun. And the man looks to Majnun and he says, "Have you not heard of that city, that town where Layla once dwelt?" And he says, "Yes, I have, and I go and I ask the stones, but how can dead stones speak? And I walk and caress and kiss the walls where Layla had once lived, but it wasn't the love of the buildings or the stones, the love of the one who will have lived within those stones." Another poem says, a man saw Majnun and he was feeding a dog and treating it with great love. He says, why do you do this? And Majnun says, "Do not blame me, for once I saw this dog in the vicinity of Layla, and so I must love it." The Arabs have what they call Muratti al-Hub, the 10 levels of love. The first is alaqa, talahal al-qalb, mahbub. The heart, it desires a connection, an attachment. When you say, "I'm attached to him," I'm so attached to her. Number 9 is irada. This is the willful love. Turiduhu, seeking, looking, where you need to find the beloved. Number 8 is sababa. Now, sababa comes from sabil mahu, which means water falling. In English, we call this to fall in love. This is the point where insibab. The insibab is losing control. Number 7 is gharam. When love is mughram bihi, desire is always with them. Just this feeling like I need to be next to them. I don't ever want to be apart. I never want to be apart from this person. I always want to be, always just to be there. Just in the room. Even if we're doing different, just to be in the room. Number 6, and this is where things begin to change, al-widad. This is pure love. No nafs. See, before all these others it was about your desire, your want, your feeling, the need you feel. That you feel. It's about that closeness. It fulfills something in yourself. But in this, the wood, it's all about them. It has nothing to do with you. The Prophet ﷺ said, marry women who are fertile and wudud. That they have this pure love. The love where a man won't leave his wife because she is sick. Like the story we heard many years ago where the woman, she had the car accident and she was paralyzed and mentally incapacitated, so he sent her back to her family. Just divorced her. Khalas. This is not love. This is not pure love. It's something else. But it's not pure love. And the woman, they have the natural, it's natural for them, the inclination of sacrifice for love that men find so difficult. The Prophet ﷺ said, look for women who have this quality when you look for spouses. They have no concept of, well, what's in it for me? What do I get out of this? Their love is just love for the sake of love. Number 5 is shaf. The shiraf al-qalb, when it surrounds the heart. The heart is completely surrounded with this love. Like it's literally a sickness that you feel within yourself to be separated. Number 3 is tatayyum, a love of servitude. It's like a type of ubudiyya, but not as far as the abd. But where the love is just like, what can I do? When I see things, they remind me and I have to do. When I hear things, they remind me and I want to do. This feeling of like, I want to do for you. That's the tayyib. Number 2 is ta'abud. This is when you become a complete abd of the beloved. Adoration, adore. The abd adores the beloved. The beloved is first among all things. And finally, khula. Khula is the mark of the khalil. Takhlil, it completely permeates. When you do ghusl and you need to do takhlil, you have to get every hair follicle. That's khula. When the love permeates every cell of one's being, every hair follicle, every thought, every breath. Khula. We ask that Allah makes us from among those who are people of muhabba, both of Him, of the Prophet ﷺ, and of those mates who have been, alhamdulillah, created for us. We have a contract that we have put together. We have Sister Rachel here. We have witnesses.
All right. So it was a really nice wedding too. You know, with cake, and I made makhluba that I didn't cook properly, and
it happens.
It happens. So I've made that dish twice now, and I've messed it up both times. The first time I put it in a dish that was too deep, and I had to cook it too long, and the rice came out mush. And then this time I put it in a pan that was too shallow, and the rice came out like 3/4 of the way done. Like, everybody raved about how it was, but I wasn't happy with it. And in my mind, if I'm not happy with it, everybody's just saying nice things to blow smoke up my backside. They're just telling me, oh, it's nice. You screwed it up, but thank you anyway.
I mean, that's like me in general with anxiety.
So we do have some pretty serious stuff to talk about when we get back here for the Crypto Hour. Bitcoin futures are coming to Asia in February, but ETFs are just simply not going to happen because of the U.S. government shutdown. And Kraken has received 3 times more law enforcement requests in 2018 than they ever have. So we'll be back with all of that during the Crypto Hour here on The Call to Freedom, here on LRN.FM.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, January 7th, 2019. Silver is trading at $15.76 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,292 per ounce. Smart Cash is trading at 1.45 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,024. Antiwar.com reports out of Yemen's Hodeidah province say both sides have traded artillery fire over the weekend. While both sides have traded accusations of starting it and of violating the ceasefire, it is yet unclear who actually fired first. Since reaching a ceasefire deal last month in Hodeidah province, fighting had dropped substantially in the area. Though there has been intermittent fighting and artillery fire, it is still much less violent, and the ceasefire continues to hold. There are some UN monitors in Hodeidah now, having arrived in recent weeks, though so far they don't appear to have issued a statement on what happened over the weekend. This may suggest they won't be providing updates unless the ceasefire is in serious jeopardy. This comes as UN envoy Martin Griffiths is visiting the Yemeni capital of Sana'a to visit the Houthi members. This is his first visit to the country since the Sweden peace talks. Further talks are expected later this month. Smart Cash is a peer-to-peer digital currency that is fast, secure, and easy to use. Smart Cash is building a foundation that can support daily transactions for people everywhere. One feature that sets Smart Cash apart is the Smart Hive governance model and how the community can vote to fund the best projects with block rewards stored in the Smart Hive project treasury. Unlike other cryptocurrencies with voting systems, Smart Cash allows everyone to participate. One smart equals one vote. Learn more at smartcash.cc. UPI reports the U.S. National Park Service announced Sunday that it will use reserved money from visitor fees to fund operations of parks affected by the ongoing partial government shutdown. Deputy Director of the National Park Service, P. Daniel Smith, said the agency was taking the extraordinary step of using entrance, camping, parking, and other fees collected from park visitors that would typically be used for future projects at parks to fund the most highly visited parks. Smith said while the NPS will not be able to fully open parks and many of the smaller sites around the country will remain closed, utilizing these funds now will allow the American public to safely visit many of our nation's national parks while providing these iconic treasures the protection they deserve. The funds will be used to clean up trash, clean and maintain restrooms, bring additional law enforcement rangers into parks to patrol accessible areas, and restore accessibility to areas that have so far been off limits due to the shutdown. The statement did not clarify how much money would be spent or which parks would receive the funding. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. Reuters reports President Donald Trump said on Sunday he was in no hurry to find permanent replacements for 1/4 of his cabinet currently serving in an acting capacity because it gives him more flexibility. Trump told reporters as he departed for Camp David for meetings on the partial government shutdown, "I am in no hurry." About 1/4 of the U.S. federal government has been shuttered for more than 2 weeks, and about 800,000 government workers have been either furloughed or working without pay. Trump said, "I like acting. It gives me more flexibility. Do you understand that? I like acting, so we have a few that are acting. We have a great cabinet. He did not elaborate on why they give him more flexibility. There are 24 cabinet level positions and 6 are currently filled by individuals who are serving at an acting capacity after the departure of members confirmed by the U.S. Senate. Other than the White House Chief of Staff and the Vice President, cabinet-level officials require confirmation by the U.S. Senate. Federal law allows the president to temporarily fill vacancies by appointing acting department heads who are already employees there. Trump said last month he was in no hurry to name a new defense secretary after Jim Mattis quit over policy differences, and he has praised the acting secretary, Patrick Shanahan. David Barnhart is acting secretary of the Interior Department, while Matthew Whitaker is acting attorney general. Andrew Wheeler is the acting head of the Environmental Protection Agency, while Mick Mulvaney is the acting White House Chief of Staff. Jonathan Cohen is acting ambassador to the United Nations. In the first 2 years of Trump's presidency, there have been a 65% turnover rate among senior level advisors, according to the Brookings Institute, a Washington think tank. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
My fellow sheep, election season is upon us. Are you one of the 12% of Americans who still approves of our government? Then we need your help to force the other 88% into compliance. Our democracy depends on it. We're an organization called Citizens Against Too Much Unfettered Freedom, or CATMUF. CATMUF is a bipartisan flock of sheep whose goal is expanding government until nothing else remains. Because the government is here to help you. How can you help CATMUF help you? By only voting for candidates dedicated to expanding government. It's easy. You don't need to study the issues. No matter what a politician says when running for office, they're all dedicated to expanding government. And make sure you tell all your friends and family to vote for more government. Here at CATMUF, we don't care if you vote Democrat or Republican, as long as you vote for candidates committed to growing our federal family. CATMUF. Because folks just aren't smart enough to handle real freedom.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Andros has again invaded the Lilat system. General Pepper has turned to a new Star Fox team headed by Fox McCloud to save Corneria and free the Lilat system once again.
Welcome here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM, broadcasting live from the Horizon Global Studio in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. It is our Crypto Hour, the best in crypto, tech, and gaming news. Your only libertarian source that I know of for all of the above. So here we go on another magical adventure through time and space to the Cornerius system. Where we hear horrible news from the Bitcoinist about Kraken. That's right, Kraken has received 3 times more law enforcement requests in 2018. The cryptocurrency exchange Kraken has revealed that it's received 3 times more law enforcement requests in 2018 compared to 2017. The overwhelming majority of requests are coming from authorities in the U.S.
Shocking.
A choke point for law enforcement, San Francisco-based cryptocurrency exchange Kraken has released an infographic displaying the increasing number of law enforcement requests received in 2018. As it turns out, the bear market's not the only thing to be concerned with.
I'm not concerned with the bear market.
Evidently,
it's a good time to buy.
The exchange has received 475 law enforcement requests in 2018, a number 3 times larger when compared to 2017. The The overwhelming majority of these requests are from authorities in the U.S., with Homeland Security leading the march with 91. The FBI has issued a total of 67 subpoenas, while the DEA has followed with 40. You can see why many businesses simply choose to block U.S. users. Cost of handling subpoenas, regardless of licenses, is quickly becoming a barrier to entry, tweeted the exchange. It's noteworthy that back in April, CEO and co-founder Jesse Powell expressed his thoughts on the matter of information requests on behalf of lawmakers. Quote, having the kind of requested information on hand is not the same as having the resources to compile it neatly to fit the framework of the request.
That should totally be the state's job. Too. I mean, you just hand them the information and let them organize it into their little file folders. That's how it should be. I mean, they shouldn't be able to subpoena people anyway. I mean, to subpoena information anyway, but...
Well, the costs of all this are passed on to the users. There are 11 different departments in the U.S. alone who are looking to enforce their regulatory framework upon cryptocurrencies market. Commenting on the matter was the host of CNBC's crypto trader Ran Neuner, who commented, the cost of doing crypto business in the USA is disclosed by Kraken. There are so many different and disjointed departments all looking to enforce their little piece of jurisdiction. Ultimately, these costs are passed on to the consumers. So it's a disturbing trend to see this. Looking, let's see here. Kraken. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Let's blow this up some. Says there were 160 requests in 2017, only 71 in 2016. Of all the requests, 315 come from the U.S., 34 from Denmark, 20 from France, 6 from the Netherlands, 8 from Italy, Estonia, 6 from China, 61 from the UK. The FBI, 67, the USSS, 19, the DOJ, 18, Homeland Security, 91, the State Department, 1, the Center for the CFTC, 10, local PD, 7, local DAs, 22, the IRS, 13, Securities Exchange Commission, 19, and DEA, 40. Those requests peaking in October of last year at 65, 47 in November, and 44 in November, 47 in December. So as the price rose, so did the number of requests, with the max being 65 in October. A lot of people are just...
So Kraken is complying with these requests.
They kind of have to.
Well,
or shut down business in the U.S. because it's.
And I mean, you don't even have to do that. You just have to, open up a branch in Cambodia or something, and tell U.S. users to use a VPN.
Well, I mean,
that's why I wish that Iceland, whoever it was, sold that little island to the people at the Pirate Bay, because that would be perfect for this kind of thing. And the people at the Pirate Bay would be all over it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Host your exchange here on our little 50-foot by 50-foot island. And tell the American government they can screw off. That would be ideal.
Well... So far, Kraken has been the only
Coinbase is like begging for them.
Yeah.
Would you please subpoena us more?
Yeah. Coinbase, they don't even want a subpoena. Coinbase is just like, tell all your friends to come on over. Bring all your equipment. Hey, Bitcoin's back over $4,000. That's pretty cool. Yay! Yay. I hope it pulls everything up with it. Yeah. Maybe. Ethereum's down a little bit.
Litecoin is up rather nicely.
Yeah, that's right. Everything's coming up nicely. Loving it. Loving it.
I mean, they can go back down and it won't break my heart. Just means I can buy more of it for the same amount of cash.
Well, I want to see Motion Project come back.
I mean, there are coins. I want them to be successful, sure.
I want to see Bean Cash come back.
But I'd rather have, 2 Litecoin for $100 than a third of a Litecoin for $100.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I want to see Raven coins come back up.
Yeah, me too. I've got like 80 now.
Well, I mean, it's only up. Those are all up like 3%.
Yay!
Yay!
It destroyed my graphics card, but I have 80 worthless tokens.
It
didn't destroy my graphics card. I destroyed my graphics card. But
you have 80 cents. You don't have 80 worthless tokens. You have. Oh wait, hold on. Let's see. You have 80 Raven coins.
Yeah.
So you have $1.17.
All right.
Yeah.
300 more of those, and I can replace the graphics card. Wait, no, 3,000 more of those. Wait, no, I was right. 300 more.
So we have 6,400 Motion coins total.
Nice.
You know what that is?
$6.
22. Which is less than...
significantly less.
Than what I paid for one node. Ouch. Yeah, the markets are just so down, man. It's not fun. Not fun at all. Yeah, we literally tried to raised money, built a charity, and then the coin crashed, and all those charities are now worth like 6 cents a month. So, oh well.
It's devastating for the idea.
Yeah, but you try again. Anyway, when we get back, we're going to continue on with why ETFs are simply not going to happen.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
The easiest thing in the world for a reader to do is to stop reading, according to the late, great Barney Kilgore, who became managing editor of the Wall Street Journal in 1941 and grew the paper's circulation from 33,000 to 1 million by the 60s. And he'd be pleased to know that his paper is one of the few that people now pay to read online. Someone else pre-internet who realized that attention is fragile? Motown Records founder Berry Gordy. In the early 60s, when his label dominated the charts, he'd bring a dozen real people into the Hitsville, USA studios and audition songs. And he'd ask, if you were down to your last dollar, would you spend it on this record or would you buy a sandwich? Today, attention span seems like an oxymoron. For tips on cutting through the clutter, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Join Daryl W. Perry on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio as he brings you news, views, and opinions while promoting the ideas of peaceful interaction.
My personal position on the death penalty is this. We know for a fact that there have been hundreds of people who have been wrongly convicted for various offenses. People who were wrongly convicted of murder and who were sentenced to death, who have later been exonerated. And from that, we can deduce that there have been innocent people who were executed for crimes they did not commit. And the fact that I do consider myself to be consistently pro-life, I don't support using taxpayer funds to kill any human at all, anywhere. Using any money that is taken by force and then used to murder people is wrong.
Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Welcome back here to the Crypto Hour here on the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Horizon.global studios here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. It's another beautiful day here in the Shire. We are rolling right along. And, well, Bitcoin ETFs, they're not going to happen. Well, that's what a lawyer says, according to her. And the reason? Well, of course, it's because of the government shutdown. A Bitcoin exchange traded fund in ETF is simply not going to happen in the event of a protracted U.S. government shutdown. In reality, it would never happen.
It becomes irrelevant in the wake of an extended government shutdown.
Yeah. See,
just do it anyway.
That was the position of securities lawyer and frequent cryptocurrency commentator Jake Chervinsky this week in the face of mounting rumors that the long-awaited instrument would soon go public. After President Donald Trump hinted the ongoing impasse over funds to build his Mexico border wall could last months or even years, pundits suggested an ensuing lack of regulatory power could cause the ETF to be approved by default.
Why did they assume that?
Bitcoin advocates have long desired an ETF approval, many arguing that trading would significantly boost the currency's public profile. Others, such as Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin, have argued against its introduction, but have conceived that it's an inevitability. For Chervinsky, however, any hype around a change of regulatory course arising from the shutdown is erroneous. It's not going to happen, he replied on social media when asked about the rumors. Elsewhere, he went into further detail, adding, "It's true that a proposed rule change is auto-approved if the SEC doesn't make a decision by the deadline, but in reality, it would never happen. The SEC has enough staff to put out a decision, even if it's a one-page saying, denied for reasons to be explained later." Because, you know, that's how government works.
I mean, they just normally have some poor intern type that up to 70 pages and
And
then
not
submit
pay her.
that.
And
Yeah.
not pay her. You're coming in for free.
It still just says no, we'll explain why later.
Yeah.
But now it's 70 pages.
Yeah. Around 800,000 government workers across multiple agencies and other state structures have been affected by the shutdown, missing out on
Why
pay.
do we have 800,000 government workers? 800,000.
And that's not the arresty parts, the bomby parts, the steely parts, because the parts that steal your money, they still run. But the part,
Well, I mean, they really don't. There's a lot of confusion about that. And I've seen it a lot. People are like, why is the IRS still taking money out of my check if they're shut down or whatever? Because the IRS isn't. Your employer is. And your employer is sending that to the IRS, presumably. I don't know how that aspect of it works because I didn't do payroll taxes when I did actually employ somebody. But I mean, the IRS is moot at that point. Your employer becomes the tax collector. And that's why this automatic payroll deduction thing was such a brilliant scam. Instead of having you go and pay your taxes each year or each quarter, they do it automatically. They turned every employer out there into a tax collector.
Yep, an unpaid tax collector, by the way.
Yes, and if they don't do it,
then they go to jail.
They go to jail.
Yeah.
So, if they don't like being slaves of the state, collecting revenue for the state, then they can get shot between the eyes.
Or put
they
in a
can-
cage with rapists.
Yeah.
Yay! 'Cause
Yay, America.
It's voluntary. I love that. The Somali kid, he's like, man, you don't have to pay tax. Taxes are voluntary here. And I was like, they're enforced with violence. What violence? What happens if you don't pay your taxes? You go to jail. Okay.
What part of that by itself doesn't constitute violence?
How do you get to jail? Well, they arrest you. Okay. And how do they do that? Well, they'd send somebody to your house to get you. Okay. And how do they do that? What has he got on his hip? The man that comes to your house with the magic badge and the wallet, what's he got in his hand or on his hip? A gun. So what will he do with that gun if I say no? Oh, well, he'll make you. Oh, so violence. Well, yeah, but I mean, people wouldn't give otherwise. I'm like, that's not a moral argument, A.
No.
That has nothing to do with whether this is moral.
But so many people think it is. They think that because I want to donate money to Planned Parenthood, it becomes moral to force everybody to do it. Or because I want to donate money to the National Science Foundation, it becomes moral for me to force everyone to do it. It's like, that's not the way any of this
mandatory
works.
tithing in the Church of England.
Yeah.
Where you do give 10% of your wealth to the church, or you do go to jail.
Is that still the case?
I don't know if it still is, but it used to be. And it's oppression according to the secularist who loves taxes. Your average left-wing secularist.
Well,
is
they're
like,
not secularists. They just worship the state instead of
that's oppression. But when the government does it, that's to them it's a secular state, and because the government, a secular state, is doing it
as a secular state.
To them, it's not.
As we were talking about
a theocracy in their views.
Not long ago, it's absolutely the religious aspects of it that make it a state.
I know, but they don't get that at all. To them,
with their stupid flags and
because it's
rituals.
called a president and not a priest. It's not got any. It's secular.
Yeah, but it still rapes people.
But it's secular rape, so it's magically okay. We'll only protest it when the other team's doing it. Traders, meanwhile, they're waiting for the launch of regulated physical Bitcoin futures from Intercontinental Exchange's ICE backed platform, January 24th. Various other entities, such as NASDAQ, have also signaled plans to enter the market in the coming months. Last week, Backed, BAKKT, announced that it had raised $182.5 million for its venture. ICE, joined by Microsoft's venture capital arm M12, Galaxy Digital, and Pantera Capital, among others. So, I mean, that I think is good news for the crypto world, because when people start trading and things start moving, the prices start heading north. And when Bitcoin prices head north, it's like a rising tide raises all ships. Well, in that equation, Bitcoin is not the big boat. Bitcoin's the water. So when the water goes up, that's Bitcoin. It takes everything else up with it. And when Bitcoin goes down, same thing happens.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom. Live on LRN.fm.
تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM, broadcasting live from the Horizon.Global Studios here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. So the word here, no ETF, because government shutdown means, well, nothing, I guess.
It doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, my life didn't change at all.
No.
Whether government is open or closed, I mean, it's
20% of my check was still gone when I got it, just like it always is.
Cops are still out there pulling people over.
Yep.
Kraken is still being
investigated.
I mean,
nothing stops.
The only thing that really stopped is some of the crap that 99% of people don't care about or use anyway. Oh, well, I heard, TSA employees stopped being paid and things like that, which is great. Stop paying them. They stopped doing their jobs, which they have done. So, I mean, all good things, just stop paying. Be like Milton in Office Space. Just stop paying them.
Well, Bitcoin futures are going to happen, though, it looks like. Just not here. Physical Bitcoin futures are going to come to Asia in February. CoinFlex plans to debut physically settled Bitcoin futures to the Asian market beginning in February of this year. The platform is a consortium with participants such as Roger Ver of Bitcoin.com, B2C2, Trading Technologies, Alameda Research, among others. According to Bloomberg, CoinFlex plans to offer futures contracts for Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum. Light-backed, owned by Intercontinental Exchange, CoinFlex's offerings are physically backed contracts. According to CoinFlex's CEO, Mark Lamb, settling futures contracts in the underlying cryptocurrency asset improves trust. Speaking to Bloomberg on the prospects of cryptocurrency futures trading, Lamb says, crypto derivatives could become an order of magnitude larger than spot markets, and the main thing that's holding back the growth is the lack of physical delivery. Volumes are reduced because of the problem of trust when it comes to cash-settled trades. For Lamb, there's a great potential for expansion within the cryptocurrency futures markets. According to the CoinFlex CEO, the crypto futures arena should be able to grow. CoinFlex.
I mean, they were so close to CoinFlakes. Why didn't they just go ahead and do it?
Because CoinFlakes does not.
Have you had your CoinFlakes today?
CoinFlakes does not encourage trust.
True.
If the word flake is in your name, I'm just not. I'm not going to trust you if flake is in your name. That's just.
Well, I'm not inclined to trust people when it comes to cryptocurrency anyway. And I don't think we should just inherently trust people. The software itself is built to eliminate trust as a concern. I think that trusting people in regard to it, trusting exchanges and things like that is naive. And it's often going to backfire with things like BitConnect and Bitcoin Silver and the tens of thousands or however many there were that we talked about from the news item that turned out to be scams.
Lots of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're here for, though, is to find those and to tell people, hey, watch your money. Somebody trying to steal from you.
They have thankfully calmed down a lot.
A little bit.
I mean, there was a new scam ICO every other day.
Right.
During 2016.
BitConnect. Says a unique detail of CoinFlex's offering is that the contracts will trade against Tethers, the most popular stablecoin, which is pegged against the US dollar. Apart from Tether, CoinFlex also plans to launch a contract that will trade opposite Circle's US dollar coin, another stablecoin. At the expiration of the contracts, traders who hold long positions will receive Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Bitcoin Cash, while traders who hold short positions will receive US dollar tethers, depending on the performance of the contract. Offshore.
Why would anybody want tethers?
Because some people are stupid. I don't know.
It's so bizarre.
Why
to
would
me.
you buy a future when you could just buy a Bitcoin? Because some people want complicated stuff.
It's so weird, though, to actually not want supply and demand to dictate the value of your currency and to want it to just instead be assigned an arbitrary number.
Yes. Then you know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, they're useful in that sense, I suppose. Like, okay, 1 Bitcoin is 4,000 tethers. But you could also say it's a used car.
Well, I think that the tether thing is for like these people they're talking about who are just like, you know what? I want something that's pegged to something I know, something I trust.
We don't want those people in cryptocurrency.
What I think is funny is, how do you trust the U.S. dollar? Like, how do you trust the U.S. dollar? A trading implement that's lost 93% of its value in the last 60 years? Not even that, since 1964. How do you trust that? Oh, well, I want my crypto pegged to something that loses value like water running out of a sieve.
I felt exactly as you did before, and then I figured it out by being thrown into Tether, why people might want to use it. It's not just that they want to hold dollars. It's that when you have a cryptocurrency that's pegged to the dollar, it makes it easier to get in and out of crypto, meaning that let's say Bitcoin's at a low point, or what you think is going to be a low point. You want to get out of, if you want to get out of crypto and then get back in at a later time without having the exchange report you as cashing out, you essentially are cashing out your crypto into a dollars that can be traded from exchange to exchange. Because normally it's hard to get your dollars into an exchange. So, and when an exchange cashes out to actual USD into your bank account, that's a taxable event. That's a taxable, like, they're going to send a 1099 for whatever that amount was in that year. Whereas if you cash out your crypto into Tether or Gemini Dollar or one of these other dollar-pegged cryptos,
Nubits,
you're still in crypto, but it's dollar denominated. So then you can just get back into whichever your favorite crypto is once the price goes down or whenever it is you want to buy.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
It's cold storage.
Yeah.
But it's more movable because if you've got US dollars, actual dollars sitting with an exchange, you can't take those and move them somewhere else.
That's assuming a lot. Nubits was once tethered to the dollar, and it's now worth like, what, 4 cents?
Oh, I don't trust Tether. I wouldn't stick into it for very long, but it's a way for you to avoid actually cashing out into actual dollars.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when we get back here on the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM, we're going to continue on with what's going on in Asia and their efforts to put together few Bitcoin futures in February of this year. When we get back here on the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.fm.
Welcome back into the Call to Freedom. It's the final segment of this Monday evening episode of the Crypto Hour here on the Call to Freedom from the Horizon.global studios. I got Aria DiMezzo in studio with us right now. And we've been talking about Asia is going to beat America to the punch on crypto futures. But they're going to use US dollar tethers to do it. Says offshore incorporation to avoid stricter regulations. That's the whole purpose of this exercise here. Despite offering physically delivered Bitcoin futures, CoinFlex will not come in direct competition with the platform like Bakkt.
I mean, instead of cashing out for USD, you could, try to get companies to take Bitcoin directly and then not have to cash out into USD at all.
Right? What an idea. The reason for this is that because it's incorporated offshore, allowing the platform to offer its products to a more global market, except for highly regulated markets like the US and the UK. When pressed about competition from the likes of Bakkt, CME, and the CBOE, Lam highlighted the fact that US-based crypto Bitcoin futures trading accounts for only a tiny portion of the market. Most of the global Bitcoin trading futures trading takes place in offshore and Asian theater markets. The primary reason for this disparity stems from the fact that markets like the US remain highly regulated. Thus, US-based futures exchanges simply cannot compete with the reach of their counterparts based offshore or in Asia. Translation: the American government is strangling this industry to death with an extension cord.
The American government is shut down.
No, it's not.
That's what everyone keeps saying.
No, it's not. Whatever. Oh, people aren't going to get their food stamps in 3 months from now if the government doesn't come up with, I don't think there's ever been a government shutdown that lasted for 3 months. I mean, unless you count like the Civil War.
I would be very happy, though.
I wish we could do like Spain did for a while, where they just like never opened the government back up. They're like, the government shut down. They're like, yay! And that was the end of it for a while. And then Catalonia was like, well, we don't want to be a part of this anymore. Like, whoa, we're turning the government back on. What's up?
Yeah.
Some of you are breaking off. Like, no, that's not going to work.
I hope the people of Catalonia ultimately do achieve their independence.
Well, according to the news, the city of New York has declared its independence from the United States of America. Now, I'm sure
more power to them.
I'm sure that when the government's back on and the money's coming in again, that whole like we're independent of that's off again. I'm just gonna wander out on a tree limb here and say I bet people who live in New York City are still paying federal income taxes.
I'm sure they are.
So, I mean, Como can say, we're independent of the U.S. government. But, I mean, are you really?
I mean,
you're not getting any money from them at the moment, but they're still taking money from you via your employer. Good little slaves are still robbing you on their behalf, even though Como said, we're independent of you. Because you know why?
You don't say we're independent of you. Well, yeah, I guess you do.
You could.
But
it doesn't go very far.
Yeah, you say it with a bullet.
Yeah, well, the South tried both, and neither one worked very well. So the problem is that the North always controls the actual American military. And immigration, I'm going to say the whole idea of a wall is going to be gone if there was a secession. They were like, no, we need all the immigrants that we can get to throw in the front lines. Just like they did in the last time there was a civil war.
Yeah, you got off the boat and got handed draft papers.
Handed draft papers. More like, here's a gun and a uniform. Bye. So the CoinFlex chief believes that Bitcoin futures trading doesn't require the same level of stringent regulations like spot trading markets. With a focus on the Asian market, the platform will also be eyeing a move to compete with BitMEX, which has a sizable presence in the region.
I'm not going to lie. I have no idea what we're even talking about.
Big, you don't know what Bitcoin futures are?
No.
Futures are a market product. It's a financial product. They're going to get a piece of paper, basically, that says, you know what futures trading is?
No.
Wow. You weren't into stock stuff and any of that stuff in high school? No? I'm sorry. I took business and marketing classes when I was in high school. I was a nerd.
Yeah. I certainly was not interested.
I was the teacher's aide for the marketing class my senior year. I took so many business classes when I was in high school. I was a nerd. I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. I thought I was going to grow up to be rich.
I mean, I was a nerd too.
Then I found out what regulations are. And it was like, wow. I thought I was just going to grow up and start a business and move forward and be successful. And yeah, that ain't happening. What's this? I got to pay the government for permission?
I did play this NES game called Wall Street Kid that was about the stock market.
That was actually a fun game.
It was, but it was too hard because you had to be almost perfect to actually beat the game.
Well, yeah.
Because you had to buy the $1 million mansion or whatever. So you had to basically double your money on 20 stock days. It was not really doable. It was, but you just have to get really lucky.
So Facebook was censoring again.
I'm aware.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You got tagged too.
I did, but I mean, and it's because I posted it to the Call to Freedom's page. It's like, here, share it from this one rather than directly from my page, and people started doing it. And somebody got really butthurt. I assume some trans person, and reported it. And Facebook was like, "Oh yeah, we can't have this." And I was like, "Well, I think it can." And they were like, "Oh, you're correct. We're wrong. This is not hate speech. So we're going to reinstate the video." But I'm still
You're
bad.
still in the timeout box. You're still in the timeout box because you offended somebody.
I mean,
we're not going to take the video down, but
my support inbox, I took a screenshot of it because it's really funny. It's just a long list of this violates our community standards. This violates our community standards. There's like 40 of them. Most of them were from last year when I was posting chicks fingering each other in the butts with the Race for the Cure ribbon on them.
Yeah.
That's what most of them are from.
Oh.
No, it was the finger in the butts was the how to properly give a prostate exam thing.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Oh, and then what was the other one that you got hit with?
I mean, there was the spread eagle chick with the Susan G. Komen.
Yeah.
Facebook was not amused by that. But I was.
Thought it was hilarious. There was a couple of them.
It was because I sent that one in Messenger, too, that I ended up getting the 3-day ban.
Oh, a 3-day ban. See,
that was the first offense.
I've been in trouble.
7 days.
I've been in trouble so many times, I just get 30. Like, they're like, hey, yeah, somebody's mad because of something you posted in 2007. So you're banned for 30 days. It happens to me all the time. I'll just sign into Facebook and it'll be like, you've been signed out. And then it'll be a post from like 2010. Like, you said something that is now offensive in 2010. And I'm like, then just erase it, yo. Like, if it's that bad, no, you got to go. Back in the timeout box, you got to go. You got to love Facebook. All right, so we'll be back right after this with the final hour of the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. It's a turf war. Well, it's trap war. No, it's terps. Turfs versus Traps. That's right. And it's all from...
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, January 7th, 2019. Silver is trading at $15.76 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,292 per ounce. Smart Cash is trading at 1.45 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,024. Antiwar.com reports out of Yemen's Hodeidah province say both sides have traded artillery fire over the weekend. While both sides have traded accusations of starting it and of violating the ceasefire, it is yet unclear who actually fired first. Since reaching a ceasefire deal last month in Hodeidah province, fighting had dropped substantially in the area. Though there has been intermittent fighting and artillery fire, it is still much less violent, and the ceasefire continues to hold. There are some UN monitors in Hodeidah now, having arrived in recent weeks, though so far they don't appear to have issued a statement on what happened over the weekend. This may suggest they won't be providing updates unless the ceasefire is in serious jeopardy. This comes as UN envoy Martin Griffiths is visiting the Yemeni capital of Sana'a to visit the Houthi members. This is his first visit to the country since the Sweden peace talks. Further talks are expected later this month. Smart Cash is a peer-to-peer digital currency that is fast, secure, and easy to use. Smart Cash is building a foundation that can support daily transactions for people everywhere. One feature that sets Smart Cash apart is the Smart Hive governance model and how the community can vote to fund the best projects with block rewards stored in the Smart Hive project treasury. Unlike other cryptocurrencies with voting systems, Smart Cash allows everyone to participate. One smart equals one vote. Learn more at smartcash.cc. UPI reports the U.S. National Park Service announced Sunday that it will use reserved money from visitor fees to fund operations of parks affected by the ongoing partial government shutdown. Deputy Director of the National Park Service, P. Daniel Smith, said the agency was taking the extraordinary step of using entrance, camping, parking, and other fees collected from park visitors that would typically be used for future projects at parks to fund the most highly visited parks. Smith said while the NPS will not be able to fully open parks and many of the smaller sites sites around the country will remain closed. Utilizing these funds now will allow the American public to safely visit many of our nation's national parks while providing these iconic treasures the protection they deserve. The funds will be used to clean up trash, clean and maintain restrooms, bring additional law enforcement rangers into parks to patrol accessible areas, and restore accessibility to areas that have so far been off limits due to the shutdown. The statement did not clarify how much money would be spent or which parks would receive the funding. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. Reuters reports President Donald Trump said on Sunday he was in no hurry to find permanent replacements for 1/4 of his cabinet currently serving in an acting capacity because it gives him more flexibility. Trump told reporters as he departed for Camp David for meetings on the partial government shutdown, "I am in no hurry." About 1/4 of the U.S. federal government has been shuttered for more than 2 weeks, and about 800,000 government workers have been either furloughed or working without pay. Trump said, "I like acting. It gives me more flexibility. Do you understand that? I like acting, so we have a few that are acting. We have a great cabinet." He did not elaborate on why they give him more flexibility. There are 24 cabinet-level positions, and 6 are currently filled by individuals who are serving in an acting capacity after the departure of members confirmed by the U.S. Senate. Other than the White House Chief of Staff and the Vice President, cabinet-level officials require confirmation by the U.S. Senate. Federal law allows the president to temporarily fill vacancies by appointing acting department heads who are already employees there. Trump said last month he was in no hurry to name a new defense secretary after Jim Mattis quit over policy differences, and he has praised the acting secretary, Patrick Shanahan. David Barnhart is acting secretary of the Interior Department, while Matthew Whitaker is acting attorney general. Andrew Wheeler is the acting head of the Environmental Protection Agency, while Mick Mulvaney is the acting White House Chief of Staff. Jonathan Cohen is acting ambassador to the United Nations. In the first 2 years of Trump's presidency, there have been a 65% turnover rate among senior-level advisors, according to the Brookings Institute, a Washington think tank. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Our very own Tracy met farmer Ray Kimball, who says that his horse, Franklin, has the ability to speak full sentences.
When did you first realize he could talk?
Well, I'd hear him saying things when I was sleeping, and then I'd go out to the barn and we'd have some real conversations.
Can we talk to Franklin?
He can't wait to meet you. Say hi, Franklin. What's that? That's a good one.
What did he say?
He said, "Who's the pretty lady?"
Aw. Franklin, do you like living on the farm?
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Did he say something?
Tracy, you live here now.
I spent a cozy night at Ray's farmhouse in a room he called the altar. I learned that the farmer has a whole lot more on his mind than just a talking horse.
You are my beloved.
This is the Onion News Network.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Cruising along, firing our farm, marshmallow lasers. I love Aria's face when I play some of the stuff that we play on here. What is this? It's just me.
It's no yum yum breakfast burrito.
Right.
But it was pretty good.
So, anyway. There's so much.
Turfs versus traps.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the Ocasio-Cortez and I'm seeing somebody tell me why her saying that is really this other thing that means nothing about what she said. But, anyway, we'll get into that in a little while. She's the gift.
Well, of course they're going to defend her. She's a socialist, and they require feelings over facts.
She's the gift that keeps on giving.
She is, and that's why she's going to be president in 2024.
Who's Blair White? Is that a dude or a chick?
That's transphobic, Will.
Well, I'm sorry. I can tell the one on the left wasn't born a girl, but the one on the right, you look. I worked in drag clubs for 6 years. Don't tell me that sometimes the girl doesn't walk by and you go, "Hey, that's never mind. That has a penis. Never mind."
Oh, I know.
You just have to remind yourself. She's sitting there staring at you from across the bar, and you're like, "Wow, she's hot. Wow, I'm drunk. Wow, oh wait, never mind. That's Alexandria.
Dude looks like a lady."
Yeah, that's Alexandria. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I saw you when you came in. You were still dressed as a boy. I remember what you looked like. Everyone's entitled. This is from Vice, which has basically become the dumpster fire of
the left
trans discussion. What's wrong with the no trans dating preference debate?
It's Mem became the dumpster fire of trans discussions.
Everyone is entitled to their sexual preferences.
I've got so many awesome memes. As soon as I get unbanned, they're going up. I'm going to eat another ban instantly.
That's 30 days then. We should be able to talk about societal values' effects on sexual preferences. Let's talk about the no trans dating preferences, a recent fixation in sexual politics that often ends up in transphobic and abusive conversations. Take, for example, a recent video by LGBTQ commentators Ariel Scarcella and Blair White, which argued that lesbians are not transphobic if they are only attracted to cisgendered women. See, trans feminists and YouTube personalities such as Riley J. Dennis and ContraPoints have been arguing for some time that a lack of sexual attraction to trans folks is, to some degree, shaped by societal prejudices and stereotypes. As a PhD student in sociology and trans feminist,
there's her problem.
I am concerned about how the debate has misrepresented trans critics and led to attacks on trans feminists and activists.
Define attack.
Well, you'll see what attack is.
People said mean words to her on the internet.
Not even that.
They just didn't want to screw her. They didn't want to suck her penis.
No, they stated things that she didn't like to hear. The attraction debate's been popping up on and off over the last few years, but seems to have been kicked off by a video posted by Dennis called "Your Dating Preferences Are Discriminatory," which explored how social inequalities and oppression shape our attractiveness to marginalized people.
They have to be. Even mine are discriminatory. I don't sleep with just everyone who wants to sleep with me. That's discrimination. On whatever grounds. You're not hot enough, you're not cool enough, you're a statist, you're a dude.
Yeah, but that might hurt somebody's feel. That's how you end up with incels. What I think is funny is these are the people that hate incels because incels feel like that they deserve the sex, but they're literally advocating sleep with everyone. If you don't, it's racist. I mean, how do you have both views at the same time and your head not explode?
Well, that's why they hate incels, because they're not sleeping with everyone. And it is racist and transphobic and misogynistic.
But incel, involuntarily celibate, as in, I don't want to be celibate.
I don't know how involuntary it really is. I mean, let's be honest, getting laid is not hard.
No. Dennis concludes in her video that because these dating preferences...
even if it's just some fat, ugly, drunk chick, you could screw her if you wanted to. It's just that guys today don't want to put in the effort because they become addicted to their hands.
Well, not only that.
Their hands are so convenient, rather.
Everything else is everything.
I mean, guys used to walk thousands of miles across the freaking desert for some
punani.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. And they used to kill for it. And now guys are like, I've got to work in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm glad I still come from the generation where my wife's like, but you have the flu. I'm like, so?
Right?
But you can't walk. I was like, and what's that got to do with anything at all?
No.
You're dying. I don't care.
I'm going to die with a smile on my face.
Thank you. Thank you. It's like, you're dying. Yeah, but this will make me feel better for like 5 minutes. So, but it will.
It's a great migraine cure as well. For a very, very brief instant.
I had like 3 broken ribs. I'm going to hurt you. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
It'll be worth it.
It'll be over in a minute. It's like having a tooth pulled, Only you get to come at the end. So I'm sorry. Doesn't work that way. Anyway, it says here that because these dating preferences are ultimately harmful to people who don't fit into your box of what is a conventionally attractive person should look like, it makes people feel isolated, alone, and unwanted to hear that they are universally unattractive to people.
So the article here is not about dudes not wanting to suck wee-wees. It's about chicks wanting to lick vaginas.
No, it's about people who are transgendered not being able to date who they want, and that makes them feel sad.
I mean, it sucks to live in a reality where other human beings have their own inclinations and preferences and, can make decisions for themselves because, like they do, I just want to tyrannize everybody and make everybody do what I want them to do all the time. Why can't we have that reality? What's wrong with that?
If the person if person A doesn't fit into the box of preferences of person B, that's isolating. It creates a feeling of loneliness and it makes them feel unwanted. So you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have.
See, it doesn't make them feel anything.
And
they choose to feel that way.
And the reason is because of cis heteronormalcy.
Yeah, but see, nobody. I want to focus on that a little bit more because nobody can make you feel anything. What you feel is up to you. You control it 100%. You have this brief flash of an emotion. You can either roll with it and dwell on these negative thoughts and perpetuate that negative emotion, or you can just let it go and move on with your life. You choose to be isolated and lonely and have your feelings hurt. No one can make that happen to you unless you give them the power to. And that's stupid on its face. I'm going to give this stranger the power to hurt me or the power to make me feel things. That's nuts. Grow up, be an adult and say, hey, I control what I feel. And I don't want to be angry. I don't want to feel isolated and hurt and lonely. So I'm not going to.
When we get back, the SJWs are continuing their war against each other with claims like being gay is transphobic. We'll get into their wars when we get back.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
A severe allergic reaction causes Florida to swell up to twice its normal size. And a Ford assembly line worker is thinking about asking out a cute welding robot from work. It's time for the weekly feature with over 14 subliminal and completely unapologetic cues to purchase Energizer batteries. This is the Onion Week in Review. Area man Brett Lucier told reporters Tuesday he was left winded after placing a particularly lengthy lunch order at a local Wendy's. A weary Lucier said he struggled to get through the 7-item order and even suffered a cramp while asking for the spicy chicken sandwich.
I thought I was just about done after I ordered that junior bacon cheeseburger, but I was able to get that Frosty in there too.
And in this week's op-ed pages, a local man talks about how he was always just one of those kids who was off by himself taking cats apart to see how they work. In your hands right now are the 24 AA Energizer lithium batteries you were subconsciously manipulated into purchasing. We make no apology. For more, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
This is the Onion News Network.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.fm पे।
Welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from the Horizon.global studios in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And we are talking about, well, the turf war between traps and turfs. The argument being that your sexual preferences are racism. The argument is basically that dating preferences are harmful to people who don't fit in your box of what a conventionally attractive person looks like. That makes people sad. So this SJW is urging her followers to critically reflect on the stereotypes that shape their preconceived attractions to others.
It doesn't matter what shapes them, and it doesn't matter whether they're preconceived. We are attracted to what we're attracted to. I'm not aware of any mechanism by which we can consciously change our attraction. I mean, if you're not attracted to someone, no amount of sleeping with them is going to change that. And in fact, there may not be any amount of sleeping with them because you're not attracted to them.
Well, Scarcella and White, this pair of hateful lesbian TERFs.
Is that her terminology?
No.
Okay.
They've twisted this argument to read as an assault on the rights of lesbians and cisgendered women everywhere. An attack on the lesbian community by, quote, SJW authoritarians. But this isn't entirely surprising, since Blair White's YouTube channel routinely resorts to offensive conservative arguments that belittle and misrepresent the feminist community. Scarcella claims, quote, being gay is transphobic. But their hot take has a selective hearing problem. It cherry picks controversial lines from trans feminists and ignores the important context that frames the entire argument. This video struck a nerve in far-right circles, which led to a harassment campaign against Riley, carried out by an angry cyber mob of thousands of users. Oh, it doesn't feel very good when that happens.
It sounds like the Twitter lynch mob that the SJWs regularly seek on people.
For real, and you really don't like it when this is systematically downvoting her videos and sending her hurtful content and comments.
They're aware that the YouTube algorithms, they don't care whether you upvote or downvote. It's the attention that matters. And if you click either one of them, it's going to affect it in the search results to the same extent.
Yep.
So they helped that video get attention by downvoting it.
They're sending her venomous response videos. For instance, her video mentioned above has 2,000 likes and 50,000 dislikes. Followed by an endless stream of abusive comments, many of them misgendering Riley.
It's ma'am.
Many of the critiques of Riley's argument allege that her video accused cisgendered folks of having sexual identities that were transphobic. Such an argument would understandably irritate a lot of people. Critics argued that Riley was attempting to coerce straight men and lesbian women into having sexual attractions to trans women. Of course, this wasn't what Riley was arguing. She was just arguing that if you're straight and you're male and you're not attracted to transgendered women, that you're a bigot. Totally different. Completely different.
Well, it's more insane. At the least, saying, hey, it would be nice if you included trans women in your field of people you date. It's like, okay, well, I have preferences too, but I will respect your request and deny it.
That's the way it works.
But to then go, but that's categorically different from going, well, then you're a bigot. You're transphobic.
No, I just don't like penis.
Yeah.
Even if it's attached to a really, really hot chick.
What about post-op trans women? Because like 0.1% of trans people are actually post-op. But they are out there.
I knew Gabrielle in Knoxville. She was a big name drag queen, transgendered, became post-op. And I saw her.
This one who pulled up her skirt and was like, look at my fancy new vagina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was 18 and mortified.
Well, I've seen cisgender women's vaginas that mortified
I was like,
me,
yeah,
so.
you can keep that. I don't know. I don't think I could get past the fact that it was a guy, First of all, because, I like having kids.
Yeah.
If you can't tell. So that's just one that's like as long as this works and I'm not shooting blanks, like I want, even though my wife is fixed, you just take the cork out, it's one of those things. If we ever decided we wanted kids, you just go and you pull the cork out and boom, we're having babies again. I don't have to go into the knife and so, yeah, to me, yeah. In Iran, you might find a boyfriend, but not at my house. It's just my preferences. But that doesn't mean I'm a hater. That doesn't mean that I want to hang transgendered people from the the city walls.
I mean, if you do, you hide it really well.
Right. But the problem with these people is like, it's either or. You either want to sleep with a transgender person or you want to hang them from the city walls. There is no like this spot in the middle where it's like, no, I just think that they're like any other person who does their thing. And
yeah, what they need to realize.
I don't do it, you know. I don't do heroin either, but you know, and I don't listen to modern country music, you know, but that doesn't mean I want to shoot people that, well, I don't know. I really hate the kind of people that listen to modern country music, but I don't want to kill, well, I don't know.
They need to recognize that they're using the same label for the people out rallying for white nationalism as they're using for these people who are like, I don't want to suck a penis.
Yeah.
Using the same label for both of those is obviously going to equate them. I mean, you're not even using different labels. You're just going, they're bigots and they're bigots.
Yeah.
Well, bigot equals bigot.
I don't want to have sex with a man that's dressed as a woman or a man that's not dressed as a woman. Oh, well, then that means that you're a bigot. No, that just means that I'm straight. And
which makes you as bad
preference.
as Chris Cantwell.
Exactly. And that's just unreasonable. I'm sorry. That's just unreasonable.
That's completely unreasonable. But being reasonable is not the modus operandi of the
social justice warrior culture. No. When it's not the modus operandi of the Trumpkin culture justice warrior either. You know, like neither side are splitting atoms in their spare time. You know, especially not on the social level. They just aren't. None of these people are operating with a full deck. They're all entitled asses, in my personal opinion. Whether it's the left wing entitled ass or the right wing, it's all the same. They're authoritarians. They want to put the boot of government on my neck to create their utopia.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Fact. The new NSA data center in Utah requires 1.7 million gallons of water every single day to operate. Billions of Fourth Amendment violations need massive computers and the water to cool them. That water is being supplied by the state of Utah. Fact. There's absolutely nothing in the Constitution which requires your state to help the feds violate your rights. Our message to Utah: turn it off. No water equals no NSA data center. Visit offnow.org.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Breakfast burrito, you're a magical food, and you power me through my day. Breakfast burrito, you're eggy and cheesy, and I hope they never take you away. Breakfast burrito, always happy to see you wrapped in your tortilla, it's true. Breakfast burrito, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with you. Yum, yum, breakfast burrito.
Aria just can't, every time I play this, you get this look on your face like, I don't know what to say. This song is so catchy.
I love it.
I know. It's so catchy.
But it's so retarded.
It is. My kid, we've had breakfast burritos for dinner one night every week since my kids heard this song. Like, we want breakfast burritos. Like, you never ate them before. Yeah, but we want them now. We had them for dinner last night. Sausage, egg, and cheese with beans. Yeah. Sausage, egg, and cheese with beans. A little sour cream. Yummy. Hot sauce. The Velen, that Mexican hot sauce that we gave you the other day, and you were like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was good though.
It tastes so amazing, but my mouth is on fire. It's melting. I'm melting. So,
I mean, I eat habaneros that aren't as hot as that hot sauce.
So, this dumpster fire that we're reading here, basically, so let's put this argument out there.
Well, she says that she's not trying to demonize people over their sexual preferences and that she just wants them to reflect on their sexual preferences. But there's like a 500-word article just above her where she demonizes people for their sexual preferences.
Exactly. Or here, she says, you know what?
It's like slapping somebody and going, I'm not going to slap you. No, I'm not going to slap you.
But I
just think you should reflect on what it would feel like if I slapped you.
She says, when someone expresses disgust towards a trans woman that they mistook for a cis woman, that is
when they got
transphobia.
caught in a trap.
Yeah, that is transphobia. In fact, that's the very definition of transphobia, an irrational fear of transgender folks.
That's not transphobia, though.
That's not a phobia either. If you're making out with somebody and you reach down and you expect to find a vagina.
I cannot even imagine.
And you find something else and you go, whoa. Okay, that's not fear. That's surprise. That's shock. That's, what the hell is that? Where did that come from? Is that a sock? That better be a sock. You better carry. You better be a freak of the week and carry your toy around with you. That's what that is, right? That's a toy, right? That you just carry around with you because you're a freak like that. Oh, that's yours? Okay, I'm sorry. We can't go in. This is you got to go. I'm sorry. That doesn't mean I hate you. That just means I'm not having sex with you.
I mean, there's plenty of people I don't hate that I don't want to have sex with.
But if no means no, then no means no. Then, okay, fine then. Pretty girls, if you tell the ugly dude no, that's, I don't know, it's something phobia.
It's
troglodyte phobia. You can't.
Yeah, let's go with that.
You can't have troglodyte phobia. That's oppression. You might hurt that man's feelings.
I mean, he can't even help being ugly.
For real, yo.
You know?
He's born that way. He's born that way, man. And you're gonna discriminate against him like that. That's wrong. I mean, I'm a pretty SOB, but he couldn't be born like me. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. He born ugly is homemade sin. And then you tell the man no. I mean, it took a lot of work for the man to come up to you and say, "Hey, can you dance with me?"
I would absolutely would have.
And then you tell that man no. You hurt him like that. You know he has feelings, don't you? And then he said, "Well, I want to have sex with you," and you said no. How dare you? That's wrong. Oh, son of a... It don't work in that direction, does it? It only works in the other direction. Oh, okay. Well, So anyway, she backs up her argument. She says, "You know what? I'm not saying that you have to be attracted to trans women. I'm just telling you that your attraction is shaped by preconceived notions, also known as prejudice, stereotypes of transgendered folks. Oh, we also call that bigotry."
Yeah, I think that's a really narrow way of viewing things as well.
So no,
I don't think that their views of transgender people plays into their attraction to any sort of person.
Well, she then references the Kinsey scale.
I mean, you can't just make that kind of assertion and leave it that way. She's got to back that up. Why on earth does she feel like a person's transgenderism is actually what determines an individual's sexual preferences? Or let me rephrase that: a person's transphobia determines their sexual preferences. That doesn't carry water.
According to her, sexual identity and gender are complicated identity categories that sit on shifting identity continuums. The social scientific canon has an abundance of research, starting with the infamous Kinsey scale that reveals the diversity of flux of sexual identities. For many sociologists, such categories are culturally constructed and historically situated. This doesn't mean you have individual control or agency over your sexuality or gender, but the meanings and perceptions that inform our sexuality and gender are relative to your culture and history. So basically what they're saying is that transgenderism is a cultural anomaly in cis heteronormative cultures. Is that what you're saying? Because that makes it sound like a mutation.
I mean, it's essentially true, though.
Yeah, but that's talking about it in the same bigoted terms that she's saying that you can't talk about it.
Oh, yeah, but it doesn't count because she's a leftist.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. She's not.
She can say death to white people, and it's not racist.
Well, yeah, because she's not a cisgendered, white, heteronormative, and she's not a TERF.
Yeah.
And she's not a soccer mom.
Can't be a soccer mom.
That's transphobic, Aria. You're not allowed to say that not all women have vaginas. I can't believe I heard that a hijabi literally said those words. I'm just like...
I mean, I would agree if you're willing to put an asterisk after women, But, I mean, if we're talking biologically, yes, they do, in fact, all have vaginas.
All right. Well, we've got to move on because the last story of the night is the funniest thing ever, and I want to play the audio clip so everybody can hear just how stupid this woman is. We've got Ocasio-Cortez, how dumb she is, in her own words.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
I think it's really great for people to keep thinking that.
You want folks to underestimate you?
Absolutely. That's how I won my primary.
Do you believe President Trump is a racist?
Yeah, no question.
How can you say that?
When you look at the words that he uses, which are historic dog whistles of white supremacy. When you look at how he reacted to the Charlottesville incident, where neo-Nazis murdered a woman, versus how he manufactures crises like immigrants seeking legal refuge on our borders, it's night and day.
Do you have a specific on the tax rate?
You know, you look at our tax rates back in the 60s, and when you have a progressive tax rate system, your tax rate, you know, let's say from $0 to $75,000 may be 10% or 15%, etc. But once you get to like the tippy tops, on your 10 millionth dollar, sometimes you see tax rates as high as 60 or 70%. That doesn't mean all $10 million are taxed at an extremely high rate, but it means that as you climb up this ladder, you should be contributing more.
These are politically dangerous tactics that you're using. You've heard that.
Yeah.
Do you believe it?
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Boost Kid Essentials Nutritionally Complete Drink, providing your picky eater with essential nutrition and great taste in one drink. Visit us at kidessentials.com. To make sure your kids eat healthy, follow the 5-a-day plan. Serve 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit daily. Remember, a serving could just mean a piece of fruit or a half cup of veggies. If your kids are picky eaters, ask a nutritionist about other sources. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people like passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
If you're looking for work, the person you are applying to is probably so swamped with applicants that he or she is tough to reach. So call early in the day, before 8 a.m., before the palace guards arrive. You'll need your prospect's direct number, and here's a sneaky way to get it. Suppose the company's main number is 555-5000. You should call 555-5012. When someone says, "Good morning, Pam Johnson," you should innocently say, "Oops, somebody here must have written this down wrong. I was calling for Tom Frederick. What's his direct number?" If the very next thing you hear isn't Pam giving you Tom's number, it may be, "Good morning, Tom Frederick." For more tips for job seekers and getting better results in all your day-to-day communication, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom.
Live on LRN.FM. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
There's a place where you can feed your face with the greatest flavor in the galaxy. Go sailing on the seas of molten cheddar cheese with all the crunchy corn chips you can eat. Planet of Nachos. Whoa, whoa. Planet of Nachos. Planet of Nachos. Whoa, whoa. Planet of Nachos.
Well, I had to find a song about where Ocasio-Cortez's social and economic policies might actually make sense. Because Earth is not the place where they work.
No.
We've seen it a few times, you know, but maybe on the planet of nachos, where you just eat, the nachos grow on the trees and the cheese runs in the river. So, like, you won't starve to death because of socialism.
Well, I mean, once people are eating their cats, it's no longer real socialism.
It's no longer socialism.
And it never was.
Yeah, no. That's what Dr. Madeline Sears said, at least. Anyway, I want to play the rest of this clip of Ocasio-Cortez because there's funny, and then there's Ocasio-Cortez. She's like the Bush. She's like the George W. Bush of the left. Remember they had Bushisms back in the day? Like, what was that thing? Says, you may fool me once, but fool me twice to fool on the shame for you, or something like that. Like, it didn't make any sense at all.
Well, I mean,
That's Cortez.
I prefer Trumpism, and that's Cortez.
It is.
This is the wettest one we've ever seen from the standpoint of the water.
Yeah. So, there's like
and
a
it
minute
is not
left.
good.
There's like a minute left. I know you guys wanted us to talk about pot, but this was too funny. You know?
We're talking about somebody who smoked away all their brain cells, I think. Like, bitch, how hard did you party in college?
Hey, that's canophobic stereotyping.
It requires risk to try something new, but
Okay, hold on. I know that my economic policies are risky. It requires risk to try something. Venezuela, you stupid woman. Didn't you look like your family escaped Venezuela 2 generations ago. So, Venezuela, Cuba, Cortez. I mean, what socialist hellhole did your parents immigrate here from that you now think it's a great idea that we rebirth that crap here? Because, I mean, when she says risky, she's literally saying, I'm okay with you eating cat food if I'm wrong. Like has happened every other time this quote unquote risky new idea. I love that too. It's a new idea in the sense that it's been wrong every time it's been implemented for 120 years, but this new time that we try it, it will totally work.
but also we know so much of what we've tried in the past hasn't worked either.
Well, we have in mind, and my policies most closely resemble what we see in the UK, in Norway, in Finland, in Sweden.
How are you going to pay for all of this?
No one asks how we're going to pay for this Space Force. No one asked how we paid for a $2 trillion tax cut. We only asked how we pay for it on issues of housing, healthcare, and education.
Because we did ask those things, and that's why the government is like literally shut down right now.
Yeah. How are we going to pay for the wall?
Because they couldn't figure out how they were going to pay for things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pay for the wall that Trump wants.
I mean, she's not wrong. We spend hundreds of billions of dollars on stupid crap, and we could totally use that on housing, but...
Housing is not a quarter of the American economy.
No.
Weapons are. So that's why we can just pay for it when it comes to the weapons companies, is because, well, the weapons companies are propping up the state economies of quite a few states. That's why.
The healthcare system, The last estimate I saw would it would be $40 trillion a year to implement.
Not a year, but in 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, an unsustainably high number.
Yeah.
For a country that is already $20 trillion, somewhere around there, in the hole, in $20 trillion in the hole.
Yeah, of course. It's just money. They'll print some more.
They will.
Yeah, they will.
And that will be the problem. That's why we'll end up $30 trillion in the hole. Well, that's why they will. And they'll tell us that,
it's our debt.
Yeah.
Not theirs. They spent the money. We pay the note. Now, the next one, this is the whole reason I wanted to play this. They were asking her about, she keeps screwing up the numbers. Oh, well, this is this, and this is this, and then it turns out, no.
Yeah, there's never been an era where people were in a single tax bracket by making $0 to $75,000 a year. That's never been a tax bracket.
Yeah, I know.
The criticisms of you is that your math is fuzzy. The Washington Post recently awarded you 4 Pinocchios.
Oh my goodness.
For misstating some statistics about Pentagon spending.
If people want to really blow up one figure here or one word there, I would argue that they're missing the forest for the trees. I think that there's a lot of people more concerned about being precisely, factually, and semantically correct than about being morally right.
But being factually correct is important.
It's absolutely important. And whenever I make a mistake, I say, okay, this was clumsy. And then I restate what my point was.
To be fair, what she said isn't as stupid as it sounded. She phrased it terribly. It is because she phrased it terribly. But what she was saying is, I said $17 trillion a minute ago. If you had said, well, nothing you said is valid because you got the number wrong, I would have said, well, you're focusing too much on the actual number instead of the gist of what I'm saying.
What he said, though,
which is what her criticism is that people are focusing on me saying 17 trillion when I meant 20 trillion, and they're just totally ignoring the core of what I was actually saying.
Well, there was 2 things that he put in there. One of them was, when it comes to paying for your programs, people say your math is fuzzy.
Yeah.
And you also had this other thing where you didn't know what the hell you were talking about. What do you say to that? And she's like, facts don't matter, feelings do.
Well, she wouldn't answer the first one, obviously. I mean, she knows her math doesn't work out. Socialists know that.
Facts don't matter, feelings do. And when I'm wrong, I just say, okay, well, I said that wrong, and then I restate my point. Not I correct my math, I just restate my point. That's the problem with socialists.
She's addressing the latter one. I mean, she's not even mentioning the fact that her math doesn't work out. That's not at all what she's getting at.
It's just that she said the number wrong.
She gaffed.
Yeah.
And she corrected it. And people then focus on what she said mistakenly.
Instead of the fact that everything else around that mistake is stupidity as well.
Right. But it's not the same thing as the president lying about immigrants. It's not the same thing at all.
If I say if my math is wrong, if I say something wrong, it's not the same as when the president, because I say so.
Well, I mean, generally speaking, if your math is wrong, that's a problem that will ultimately fix itself. If an engineer's math is wrong, that will fix itself, either with a crashed train or something else. But you'll go, oh, the math was wrong and needs to be adjusted. Socialism is about the same. The math is wrong and it will fix itself by killing 40 to 50% of the population. Yeah, just socialism things. I mean, the death toll of socialism absolutely dwarfs Hitler.
Krugman loves her. Krugman has slammed those partaking in a, quote, constant effort to portray her as fake, flaky, and ignorant, contending that on the tax issues, she's just saying what good economists say.
She's saying what bad economists say.
She's saying what you say, Paul. That's what she's saying. She's saying, spend money, it'll make everything better.
Yeah, like spending your way into prosperity. That's the best way to be prosperous. It's just throw your money off a bridge.
Yeah. Duh.
And if you need a window, stimulate the economy. Throw a rock through your own window and then pay to have it fixed. It's a net gain for society, right?
I do that all the time. So anyway, this is it's the end. It's the end.
No, it's just the Democrats' version of Trump.
Which means it's the end. If she's the Democrats' version of Trump, that means in 8 years she's going to be in the White House.
Oh, she will be. 2024, she is absolutely going to be the president. And we can't stop it. It's going to happen.
Shoot us all now before the gulags line us up and shoot us instead. That's she is the beginning of the cattle cars. Just so you know.
Yeah. I would agree.
And like Jordan Page said, we don't get to ride in the cattle cars. No. They shoot us.
That's a mercy as far as I'm
they
concerned.
shoot us. Anyway, if you want some more great talk radio, then stick around. We got Free Talk Live coming up next. But this is all from us tonight here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Have a good evening.
Free Talk Live.
They gently kind of hang on to it or manipulate it with their mouths. The pufferfish then releases toxins that seem to intoxicate the dolphins.
He's getting high. Apparently, there's legislation in India to consider dolphins to be non-human persons. Would dolphins be subject to arrest for getting intoxicated?
How else could they deal with this threat to the dolphins?
Obviously, there's disorderly conduct and public intoxication.
I bet they'll resist arrest too.
Yeah, because dolphins don't really have hands. They're going to fight you, and a dolphin will rape you.
Think of the money for the prison industrial complex here. I mean, they'll have to build whole new underwater prisons for the dolphins. This could be big.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
You're 6 minutes away from a live episode of Free Talk Live. Listen live at freetalklive.com.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, January 7th, 2019. Silver is trading at $15.76 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,292 per ounce. Smart Cash is trading at 1.45 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,024. Antiwar.com reports out of Yemen's Hodeidah province say both sides have traded artillery fire over the weekend. While both sides have traded accusations of starting it and of violating the ceasefire, it is yet unclear who actually fired first. Since reaching a ceasefire deal last month in Hodeidah province, fighting had dropped substantially in the area. Though there has been intermittent fighting and artillery fire, it is still much less violent, and the ceasefire continues to hold. There are some UN monitors in Hodeidah now, having arrived in recent weeks, though so far they don't appear to have issued a statement on what happened over the weekend. This may suggest they won't be providing updates unless the ceasefire is in serious jeopardy. This comes as UN envoy Martin Griffiths is visiting the Yemeni capital of Sana'a to visit the Houthi members. This is his first visit to the country since the Sweden peace talks. Further talks are expected later this month. Smart Cash is a peer-to-peer digital currency that is fast, secure, and easy to use. Smart Cash is building a foundation that can support daily transactions for people everywhere. One feature that sets Smart Cash apart is the Smart Hive governance model and how the community can vote to fund the best projects with block rewards stored in the Smart Hive project treasury. Unlike other cryptocurrencies with voting systems, Smart Cash allows everyone to